Hello, 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 and welcome to the newest episode of Borderline Podcast Disorder. Is it? I hope you have a nice Monday. Not. And I'm aware it's Friday today, and I'm aware that I've said a while back that I'd go back to recording one episode a week. However, I've got a pretty cool episode for you, and I just didn't want to wait, and I feel like also for maybe the next couple of weeks, you will get more episodes from me just based on the fact that I'm still struggling with sleeping and I'm still going through a rough time, and I've got some, issues, personal issues that I can't talk about that are really hard on me. And so, you know what? I thought I love doing this. And I was lucky enough recently to speak with some wonderful people. And I want you to listen to those conversations earlier, to your earliest convenience. But I just feel like if there is an option, I should give you the option to listen to it sooner rather than later. And again, that's as I'm saying this, I think it's going to be only for a while because hopefully I will get better soon. I'll get better enough to not just be at home most of the time. And then we will be able to, resume I don't know, the normal schedule. But look, I hope, again, I feel very privileged to be able to record these things and to have people listening to what I do. So I appreciate you, and thank you for keeping me or giving me, not keeping me, because it's not going great, but thank you for helping me. Feel like I have a purpose. And I feel like I can still do something, and it's something cool. It's something good, and yeah, thank you. But obviously, because I've only spoke to you on Monday, I don't even remember what we spoke about, if I'm being honest. Again, I had a notification from my phone a couple of days ago, um, telling me that between in the past month I slept for an average of an hour and a half a day. I had no idea. I use a watch to track my sleep, so I guess that's how it works. Maybe by the way I, use my phone. I don't know how they do it. I gotta be honest with you. But it's kind of, it makes sense. I yeah, I don't struggle with falling asleep. I struggle with staying asleep. I get those nightmares, and it's mostly recently it's all stress induced, and I know I'm going through some stressful stuff, and it's tough, you know. But I don't know. I kind of hope that I will get better, or you will improve. I've not struggled as much with my sleep in a very long time, and I'm a bit annoyed. I don't know. Is it at myself? Is it at the situation? I really don't know. I can't tell. Not because I don't want to. It's just because I'm still trying to process how things go. However, because of the lack of sleep, it's not like I've been, super. It's not like I've done loads of things. It's not like I'm using this time to enjoy my life. I don't. Most of the time, I just sit on a couch, and I just feel tired. And then, as soon as I try to sleep, I wake up, and it's just a vicious circle. But following the this interview, I and following yeah, this episode, I will make a change, and I told myself at least that I will make a change, and I'll start meditating. In the morning. I think it's worth a try, and I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how it goes on Monday, and then or actually Tuesday. Let's space those up a bit. You'll hear back from me on Tuesday, and I will give you an update of on how things are going and whether I um, keep up with what I promised. But given the fact that you've already had an update from me this week, I won't keep this any longer, and I'll let you enjoy the interview with Honey. I think he was brilliant. Um, we've never met before, but the conversation just felt so good and so natural, and we could have done more. But look, she's busy, and so am I. But also, the I think is the right amount um, for you to listen, so that you will want more. Maybe I don't know. I haven't studied marketing, and don't really know how clickbaiting works either. I think I don't. I don't know, but yeah, I probably. Uh, yeah. Well, look, listen to the episode, and I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoyed recording. And then, moving on, we'll catch up at the other end, and yeah, enjoy. Okay, so, honey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for hosting us. We don't,
In my humble abode.
yeah, we don't usually take this on the road, so
Thank you for coming to me. I really appreciate it.
no, it's. I appreciate you taking the time because I know you've got like it sounds like a very packed schedule.
Yeah.
So
I ran from the palace to come make this happen. Just so you know, if I don't see the palace, it's your fault.
what is in the Buckingham Palace?
The Buckingham Palace, correct.
Yeah, but
It's fine. I've seen it in movies. It's
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Not a big deal.
Unless you're planning, because it's King Charles's birthday.
It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
I came for his birthday. The whole tour was based around his birthday.
No way.
I'm kidding.
And that would be quite funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Hilarious.
But then we were chatting earlier. Like, this is your first time in Europe,
Yes.
right?
Ever.
Where have you been so far?
Okay, so thank you for asking.
You're
My
very
tour
welcome.
started out in Lisbon. My last name is Lisbon, so that felt really important that should be the first place I go in Europe ever. Was
No
Lisbon,
way.
Portugal. That was my first show. I did a show for like 60 Jews there. And then I flew to Birmingham, England for the weekend, did a show there. Then I flew to Germany and I did 2 shows there in Bonn and in Berlin. And then I flew to Ireland for the weekend. And then I did a
Interesting.
show in Dublin. And then I did a show this week. I was in Leeds, Manchester, and Buckhurst Hill. And tonight I am in Finchley. Tomorrow night I'm in Boreham Wood. Saturday night I am in, no, I just messed that up. Golders Green, Boreham Wood, and St. John's Wood. And then Canary Wharf
On
Monday. I haven't slept in. I don't even know what day it is, honestly.
No way.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but I love it.
That's very cool. And I was going to ask, like, what do you then like? What's it? Yeah, what's the time difference?
Well, thank God that the last 3 weeks I'm on the same time zone for the most part.
Okay.
But just I think I'm still on New York hours because I'm up all night and I sleep during the day and then I work at night. Yeah.
But then, so you're from New York originally, or did that happen that you live in New
No,
York?
so I'm from LA originally.
No way.
Yeah,
Very nice.
This is my timeline. First 20 years LA, next 20 years New York, and I just moved to Florida. So the next 20 years I'm going to be in Florida, and then I'll probably die. I don't know where I'm going to die though.
In the 60s? No, I don't think so.
Older, probably 80s, probably
Yeah.
maybe Israel.
Well, that's the thing. You got another 20 years.
I have another 20 years in Florida, or if I find somebody in London, I'll marry him here. It's fine. I'm open to it, even though there's no sun. You guys, there's no sun here.
No, there is not.
It's so sad.
Yes. Yeah. And also, I don't know if you've been told to take your vitamin D. I don't think it works, by the way.
I didn't. Oh, you don't think it works?
I don't. I personally think it's just I'm gonna. I don't usually
Pharmaceuticals.
go on conspiracy theories on
Just
the
jump
podcast.
right in. We're
But
here
I gotta be
already.
honest with you. Like I've been taking vitamin D ever since I came to England, and I still feel miserable.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. I mean, I'm on Prozac, not to brag.
Same.
Which one?
Well, it's in the UK version is fluoxetine. Yeah.
How many milligrams?
Oh God.
I'm on a very low dose. I'm not bragging. Just saying.
I want to say I think 40.
Okay, so I'm on 15.
Oh wow.
Not that it's a contest, but I'm saying like I would win that contest because I'm happier on less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But you're like taller. I'm a small person.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I had a friend once. I think he said he was like on like 70 or 80. And I'm like, are you good? It's like, are you good?
You know, the thing is, they gave me before I got BPD and before they gave me Prozac or like fluoxetine, I was on sertraline and they were giving me 150 milligrams a day. And I was like a vegetable. Like I generally I think about a year of my life, it's just me sleeping and feeling like that's the thing. I didn't have any highs or very lows.
Yeah.
But I was just on a constant misery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry about that.
no, it's okay. It's again, it worked out, I guess, for the best now.
Yeah.
If that would have not happened, would have not
Then
got
we wouldn't be here right
yeah,
now.
exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's funny how things work out. But coming back to you, so you're like doing you're saying 15.
I'm on this. I'm on 15 milligrams. I'm doing a tour to spread light and laughter to my Jewish brothers and sisters around the world. After this, I'm going to Israel and I have some shows there as well.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to go back to Florida and go do some more shows there.
How did it happen that you because you got how did you get into comedy?
Originally,
Yeah.
originally, I think the true answer is a broken childhood.
Welcome.
Happens to be I'm also funny, which helps. But why did I need to hold a microphone and make strangers laugh? You know what I mean?
And
Probably
what do you
'cause my mom didn't hug me. I don't know. You know what I mean?
were you in Florida? Were you in Los Angeles?
No,
when you
I was in
started?
New York when
Oh,
I
New
started.
York.
Yeah, I was in New York. I was 26 years old, 27, and now I'm 43. So I haven't been doing it consistently, but I would say in the last 6, 7 years, it's been very consistent. And 2 years ago, I started paying my bills with it, and I pay taxes. I'm just saying, I'm bragging now.
Well done.
I pay taxes in case the government is listening.
I think you're safe in England.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't care.
yeah.
But actually, they probably would care because I'm. Anyways, I don't want to go to jail. I
Yeah.
really don't.
Fair enough.
Thank you. I'm too pretty.
And also, they are overcrowded.
They're
As-
over.
as it
I heard
stands.
that they let you out after 10 years. So it's
Yeah.
like you have a free place to live for 10 years and then you come back. You're like, what did I miss? What did I miss? Yeah. Somebody tried to set me up with someone who was in jail last night. Anyways,
No way.
at one of my shows. Yeah. I was like, he's in jail. He's
Well,
like,
as in, like they are in jail right now, or they were
yeah,
in jail
he's in
the
jail
past?
and he killed his ex-wife. It's not going to work out for me. Yeah. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me.
So how did you like? How did it happen? Like, what made that person believe that you would be a good match?
I know he was just kidding. He was
Oh,
kidding.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually asked me out after the show and we're going out for brunch. I'm not joking.
That's very cute.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But is you're kidding about him killing his wife, or
No,
about?
he didn't kill his wife.
Oh, right.
He
okay.
was making a joke about someone who's in prison. He thought that I would know who it is because supposedly
Right.
it's a famous person.
Right.
He said his name and I didn't know who he was, so we had to explain it. And I was like, I
Right.
don't know who that is. And then after the show, he was like, sorry about that. I thought you would know. Do you want to go out with me? And I was like, kind of.
Very cute.
Yeah.
So there you go. You'll be in
The
London.
meet cute. Not really.
Also, I think I feel like English people love Florida, so I feel like
They better. I'm
strategically
not
you've-
moving here.
no way.
I would not live here. There's no sun. I go to the beach every day.
Seriously,
Yes, I live right near the beach. I swim
so
in the
cool.
ocean on a regular basis. I start my morning with an hour walk with my feet in the sand. Do you understand what that means? You
I
know how
understand.
healthy that is?
Yes,
It's like incredible. You should come visit. I'll put you on a show.
I would love to. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I produce shows there.
no way.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you see, there you go. That's
It'll
a
give
plan
you a
because
reason. It'll give you a reason. Maybe January, February time. We can figure it out.
I would say
Not gonna
probably
happen.
later in the year because
you're,
of
you're in school.
yes, as well as that. But also, I was going to say that being Romanian, it means that we haven't like especially my generation, an
Unfathomable.
unfathomable love for America. Although I haven't been to America yet.
You've never been?
No,
Oof.
no,
Yeah,
not
you're
yet.
gonna love it. You're gonna
I,
love
I
it.
already love it.
You already love it. You're gonna love
Yeah,
it.
like the way I grew up, it was just that again you had to choose between like Russia or America, and I was like, Team USA all the way.
So
Yeah.
how did you? Okay, we're talking about me, but how did you end up here?
Um, my dad felt like, so my dad was ill, and then I knew some people that offered me to basically give me a job over summer to make some money.
Oh, nice.
And then
I love
because of my
money.
dad's condition, and also by the fact that once I feel like once you start getting paid, you're like, although it was very bad money, like it was nothing, but still once you start getting paid, you're like, oh, I don't want to go and be unpaid.
Right.
Well, now because I'm studying at university, at least I get the maintenance loan, which I know I'll pay back. Don't need to, remind me.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, let's talk more about you, because that's
That's
like
correct.
so.
Sure. Why not? Why not? We're here already.
So you were saying that you started doing comedy in New York.
I started doing comedy in New York. I was doing the open mic scene for many years, and they always said in the beginning, if you want to like get real stage time, you have to produce your own shows.
No way.
And I was like, that just sounds like a lot of work. So I didn't pay attention to that for many years. And then in 2017, 16, I think, I started producing. And so what that looked like was once a month, I put on a
Wow.
show. Me and a friend, we would pick out the other comedians, but we
Yeah.
got to do as long as we wanted. But I was so new and scared and shy that like I couldn't do longer than 10 minutes.
Very nice.
So I was like, that seems like a lot, but then as the time went on and I got more and more comfortable and, I just kept producing. I did a short stop during COVID, I wasn't producing then,
course.
but then when COVID stopped, I started producing monthly shows and I called my brand Unorthodox Comedy. And because I'm like brought up Orthodox, but I'm not anymore, but I'm still
Okay.
like religious ish. So it's like unorthodox. And I do a lot of the shows in synagogues. So it's like unorthodox to have a comedy show in a synagogue. And yeah. And
Were you always like? Was it always like being Jewish? Was it always a big
no,
part of your? No.
not even a little bit. Only since October, the 7th of October.
No way.
Yeah. I was doing regular comedy before then, like dirty, like, things that you wouldn't want your kids in front of and
Right.
sexual. And then something shifted and I was like, you know what? I need to make this more accessible to larger audiences. And, I want to get paid to do my work. So if I want to get paid, I need to have the material
Yeah.
that the people want to pay for.
And then you're just a huge curiosity. So you're doing like the gigs in synagogue under the unorthodox comedy, and you were doing like blue material.
Ish, yeah.
What?
There was this one rabbi in Brooklyn that let me. He was like, "It's fine.
No
the
way.
Torah's covered." And I was like, "Thank you, sir."
Well, again, it kind of like makes sense. It's
Yeah. And then since the 7th of October, I've been mainly booking, for the most part, Jewish comedians. So it's,
what was it like? Well, now as a curiosity, because obviously with you living in America, what's it like? What was it like for a comedian in? Like what was it like for you as a comedian in the US? Like, did you have any like I don't know backlash from people for being Jewish or being like a?
oh, no, I didn't have it, but I will say that I haven't really been in the mainstream comedy in the last year at all.
Right.
Like October 7th happened and I completely distanced myself and created my own spaces to get up and started getting hired at like different organizations and private parties. So,
Right.
I don't do open mics anymore and I'm not in that
Yeah.
scene. I don't know anybody that's getting up in New York anymore.
Right. Okay. And then
So I wasn't hit with anti-Semitism like 3 years ago because it wasn't a thing. It
yeah.
just wasn't. But now I'm pretty sure that if I spoke the way that I spoke now, it's just I wouldn't feel safe actually. Not that
Yeah.
I say anything bad. It's just like I talk about being Jewish,
Yeah.
and I don't feel safe doing that in mixed spaces for the most part.
Which makes sense. It's very weird. I feel like to again, yeah, just I think especially like, again because we're chatting about like doing it in London as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit like it just feels weird. You almost like you can cut the tension with a knife. You know
Yeah.
that saying. And
Yeah.
it's so weird because yeah, like I think in the UK I've seen like anti-Semitism like rose in the past. I want to say 2 3 years, but then it just escalate. Yeah, because I remember when I first moved from, like, I used to live in Manchester, right? And then you'd like once in a while see something, um again, like a graffiti or something, and you're like, hey, that's not nice.
You're like, that's not nice, but you'll just keep moving.
And then 2 years on, you're kind of like, you start seeing videos of like people being like abused in the trains or tube or whatever, for like especially like Orthodox Jews. And but again, it was very rare, and
Yeah.
also it was usually happening in like places that you knew that they were like, again, like as if like they were like the Jewish areas of a said city.
Yeah.
While I think since October it just went crazy.
Fair
Like you
game
you
anywhere.
almost see it everywhere. I feel like you speak with someone and then they've got like a freaking sticker or something on their phone case, and you're like, oh God, okay,
Yeah.
well, you're gonna hate
You're
when
gonna
I
hate
pull
this
this jump.
next part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was on the tube last night, not to brag, and I saw a guy with a, Free Palestine pin on his jacket, and I was like, I hope my Star of David isn't showing. That didn't feel good to think.
Yeah.
I hid it. I wasn't happy about it, but I was like, that feels safer right now. I'm not looking to get into an altercation with anybody.
Yeah, especially if because you were talking about like how your first time in England.
Yeah. I love London. I got here 2 days ago and I love it.
But this
I
is
really like it.
this is crazy that like you haven't, because I think everyone that I speak with before, they've been here like on a holiday, or they kind of experienced it at some time beforehand.
No, it's first time.
That's so
I'm
cool.
so old to be coming here for the first time.
No, that's not true. I think
Yeah.
and
You're being kind. I'm pretty old. Anyways, I look amazing, but I'm 43.
well,
So it's,
Mazel tov,
thank you so much. Thank you. I'm owning it. I know people like sometimes shy away from saying their age, but for me, I'm like, no, I'm 43.
Good,
This is how old I am.
good, because
Yeah.
it's, yeah, I think it's important to do it, and also you have like all this, again, it's a lot of experiences that
Mm.
and I imagine also, yeah. What's then? Where are you going next? Where are you going after London?
Oh, after London, I'm going to Israel
So you go
next
straight.
Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
And then I'm booking now shows in Israel. So I'm probably going to do one in Jerusalem and one in Tel Aviv, two in Tel Aviv, and that's it. Last time I was there was in June, and I did 11 shows in 14 days. And I'm not looking to recreate that. That was exhausting. And I sort
Okay.
of just did that here. So I'm looking for like a little bit of a vacation.
Right.
So I'm booking 3 shows and in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I'm going to like relax and
Chill
hang
out.
out with friends. And I'm staying right near the beach. I think it's not beach weather, but still.
Still, I think
Yeah.
it's better than
It's
this.
not this.
Yeah. And so when you go to Israel, where do you normally stay?
Thank you for asking. I'm staying at my friend's apartment in Tel Aviv. Her roommate is going out of town, so I'm like,
oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
So because you were saying before you went to,
Oh, I was in an Airbnb in Tel Aviv.
okay.
Yeah. And then I was in Jerusalem for a week. My friend's mom lent me her apartment. I mean, I should say gorgeous apartment. It was stunning.
Very nice.
Views of the whole city, gorgeous. So, yeah.
And then now you're going to also do shows around Tel Aviv, or you still?
No. So, do you know Yohai Sponder?
No.
Okay, so he's an Israeli comedian. Him and this comedian named Shachar Hassan are both like really, really, really big in Israel, and they have a show every Monday called Funny Monday. So I'm gonna do that show on the 25th, and then I'm gonna do a show on the 23rd in Jerusalem, God willing, and the 30th in Tel Aviv.
Nice.
At my friend's apartment. We're just gonna like produce it ourselves.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you done that before?
Oh, I do that all the time.
No.
That's literally how I produce shows. I'm like, oh, let's get a space and a microphone and we sell tickets.
Well,
That's all you need. I can do an hour of material, so it's like,
yeah, no, of course. Like
or 45 minutes, whatever.
the
Yeah.
question is like about doing it like in someone like someone's. I mean, actually, no, I'm lying. I think we did right after October 7th. We a Jewish comedian from London, Craig. He kind of like put together a comedy night. So we did it in his apartment as
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah, but this is like a big apartment. We could probably fit like 40, 50 people. Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. So, like a lot of the shows that I've been doing on this tour, well, not a lot of them. One of them was in a mansion in Manchester.
No way.
Like, yeah, you just need a microphone and good vibes.
Well, and then like, what do you have? Like, do you carry your tech with you as well, or you would?
No, they have their own. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not traveling with a microphone. from America.
I don't know.
It wouldn't even work here. It'd be such a waste of
No way.
space. No, because we have different plugs, and I just
Seriously? Like for
Yeah.
everything?
we have different electric.
Oh yeah, the
things.
electric. But I mean, like the
Yeah.
male female thing, whatever.
Yeah. No one can see what you just did with your hands, but I saw it. That was important. That was an important moment.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
fine. Yeah. So I mean, where every place that I go to, I just like ask that they have a microphone.
No, and then so did you do besides of when you were in like when you were based in America? I imagine, do you travel around America as well?
I have, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I did the Laugh Factory in LA. Have you heard of the Laugh
I
Factory?
have heard of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was really a beautiful moment this year. That was a dream of mine for a long time. I did that this year.
That's amazing.
And I've performed in LA, San Francisco, Arizona, New Jersey, New York, Florida. I think that might be it.
Fair. That's
Yeah.
big enough. Again, like
Yeah. Wait, Guatemala.
no way.
Yeah, this year I went to Guatemala for Passover and I did a show there at the Chabad.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was such a fun show.
In Guatemala.
In Guatemala, in Antigua. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to all these places that are like really nice and sunny and beautiful.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, do you have a microphone? Cool. I'm going to talk.
Wait,
from
so
now
what
on.
was it like not planned?
Oh, no, that was planned. I'm just saying, like,
Right,
yeah.
Right, and then you're like, oh, you know what? Let's take it to another beautiful places such as Bonn.
By the way, my friend who travels with me, she was like, I really want to go to Greece. Can you get a show in Greece? I'm like, I'm getting a show in Greece. Don't worry about it. So I'm
You
going to get a
should.
show in Greece. I'm actually speaking now with people in Amsterdam. I'm, God willing, going to do one in Amsterdam in the spring.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
That
very
seems-
nice.
It seems really important right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They said, maybe don't come right now. Let's like let things
Let's wait.
settle down a minute. Let the blood dry. No, they didn't say that. That's dark.
Fair.
But yeah. So, you know, you if you believe it, it'll happen. Like that's really like I've manifested this whole tour.
As well as, I feel like it's difficult, but it's like this is the time to, shine and, do like again like to actually bring people together even more, because
Yeah.
it looks like it's even more necessary.
Yeah.
It's after like all the tubes being set on fire or whatever.
The tubes.
Yeah, there was like a tram thing. Have you not seen the video?
No.
Oh.
Where? Here?
No, in Amsterdam.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple of nights ago, and it was like, well, that wasn't like football hooligans,
No.
do like being involved. So what's your excuse this time?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, what have you seen this before? Like, have you noticed this from an American like comedy scene where everyone is trying to almost excuse anything that's happening?
So I don't really pay attention to it's just too painful.
Yeah.
So I really don't tap into that because they have excuses for everything, and it's really painful to experience the amount of mental gymnastics that you have to do to make it make sense. So I really stick to my own lane, and I like focus on like the light that I can spread, because otherwise I can get like drowned in the darkness that's happening around me. That's what it feels like.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
And on this point of like doing like again like staying on your lane or like looking after yourself, how do you look after yourself
It's a very good
now
question.
with all this again traveling and
Yeah, so I should be sleeping more. I should be exercising. When I was in Israel, I did exercise. I have not been exercising. I have not had the willingness, but I'm trying to eat healthy. And when I'm home in America, like I exercise like 5 days a week. I'm like swimming, running, walking, like
nice.
I'm killing it. Here I'm like, oh look, it's dark out. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but also you're like walking around.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, a lot of the days I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
but
well, look, I'm
no
only
judgment, no judgment. But yeah, in terms of that, I have a very strict like morning regimen that really helps me get centered. I meditate in the morning, no matter what. Like, there's no I'm on vacation. Like, I meditate every day for 20 minutes. I pray, I read, I like get quiet. So that's like really what keeps me centered.
In the morning. That's how you start basically.
Yeah, I sleep with my phone outside the room.
Wow.
And that's like my discipline, is like to not look at it until I've like connected with like a power.
How'd you wake up?
I have an alarm clock with a plug-in alarm clock.
That's a very very sensible.
Yeah, I started doing this like 4 years ago. It's life-changing.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really nice.
It is.
I am a bit jealous.
You can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
It just takes discipline and like a slight sliver of willingness, because once you see how good it feels, it's actually really hard to like sleep with your phone in your bed. I haven't slept with my phone in my bed. Like, I mean, maybe once in Lisbon I did because I was so lazy to like plug in the alarm clock.
Yeah.
But like, I don't look at it until I've like done the things I need to do.
That's really nice. You know,
Yeah.
that sounds. I think especially with
What's
again.
going on and how
Yeah.
much you can get sucked into the drama and the
Absolutely,
chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I remember sometimes I like when I pick up the phone and some mornings I see like really nice things when I open up my
When was that?
social media.
2000 and what?
No, I usually go like, oh, when I get like an Instagram notification and
Oh,
maybe,
more followers.
like, yeah, you got more followers. Or like, oh, congratulations, you've reached this. And I'm like, nice. And then
And then you use that to validate how you feel for the rest of the day. So
Exactly.
for me, it's like I'm using this quiet time to like remind myself that I'm okay no matter what, and I can lose all. I mean, I don't want to lose all of them, but I'm saying like it doesn't matter how many
Yeah.
views that reel got. It doesn't matter as much because I'm not leaning on it to be okay. I feel okay.
Well, you see, that's a very rare occasion because the usual occasions are like, hey, it looks like you might like this thread. Jewish people are being chased. And like, oh, okay, well.
I'm going to click on that.
Yeah. And then, well, so do you do guided meditation or do you.
Silent. I know it's really intense. If you actually knew what I say, what I do, it's really personal, but here we go.
Well, it's up to you.
It's fine. I think it could be healing and helpful for some people. So I hug myself for 5 minutes, for full 5 minutes. I'm like literally hugging myself and I say out loud, Chani, I love you. It's like reparenting. It's really beautiful.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I give myself the love that I'm like expecting other people to give me maybe, and I give it to myself.
And you start with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move
And then
on.
I sit in silence for the next 15 minutes. Sometimes it's like my hand on my heart, one hand on my heart, one hand on my stomach, and I just like breathe and think. And a lot of like things come to me that like not like voices, but like I just get really quiet, and it's just a great way to start the day. You know how like you brush your teeth in the morning?
Yeah, of course.
So this is just part of it for me.
Yeah, like the
like you wouldn't leave the house without brushing your teeth,
True.
right? So I just don't leave the house without doing this.
You know, you made me now reconsider my morning. I mean,
what do you do?
Get out of. I mean, not even get out of bed. Pick up my phone, look through stuff. But also the thing is, I've especially in the last month struggled with this. Like I sleep on average of an hour and a half a night.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I have. I'm going through some like stuff that's like very stressful. So the thing is, I fall asleep very quickly. Or I fall asleep fine, but then when I start having those like nightmares, or sometimes I have those like terrors or even dreams, but they feel so realistic that I would like have to pick up my phone and see like, have I actually messaged this person? Like, have I actually done this?
Yeah.
So that's the thing to me. Like, I would fall asleep and then wake up straight away, and then fall asleep and then wake up. And I tried loads of things, but now I genuinely feel like the thing about like with the meditation, it sounds amazing because it's something that I try. Usually I tried it before I go to bed, but again, my problem is not with falling asleep. My problem is with
staying asleep.
But also it sounds like such a nice morning routine because as you were talking, I was listening to what you were saying, but then also I was thinking about the times when I wake up, and based on again like the first thing that I see, almost like my whole mood for the day changes, and to kind of like get out of that is just is near impossible.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's hard, and it feels so good that once you start, you kind of just want to keep doing it.
And that's so cool.
Yeah.
And how did you like?
I was dating somebody, and we woke up in the morning, and my phone was on my bed, and he was like, "You sleep with your phone in your bed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, everybody does." He was like, "No." He's like, "It's really bad for you." And I was like, "Okay." And I just wanted to impress him, so I was like, "I guess it is bad for me." And then I just bought an alarm clock to like impress him.
You know, I actually remember a few years ago. I
thank him.
That's very nice. Are you still like talking?
No.
But
he changed my life.
There you go. That's enough. That's better than talking.
Yeah, it is better than talking because he like, doesn't belong in my life. But yeah, for sure.
I was going to say that actually I just remember now that I bought an alarm clock like I think before lockdown. I think in 2017, 2018, I was listening to lots of like self-help podcasts and stuff. And I got this like alarm clock, and it got delivered to a neighbor, and then the neighbor stole my alarm clock, and because Amazon wouldn't refund me or like give me another one,
buy another one.
I just didn't buy another one. I just remembered it.
Can I buy you an alarm clock?
It's okay. I'll buy it myself. Don't worry. I appreciate it. And that's going to push me to.
Let's buy everybody who's listening to this an alarm clock.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Okay.
Everybody's life should be changed for the better.
That's true, actually.
Okay,
yes.
everybody send us a DM. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go buy your own damn alarm clock. I'm just.
But then, what about your? Because this is a thing that I wanted to ask you about. So, because you have it on even like your social media status about being sober since 2007.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh, that's a good question. A friend of mine who I used to drink with had gotten sober. He had 26 days. Literally, he was like very new, and he was like, "Oh, come with me to this meeting. Like, come check it out." And I was like, I thought he wanted support for himself. I didn't realize he was like, "Come check it out because you need it," you know?
No way.
So I went to support him and ended up getting sober by mistake.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you still like friends?
I mean, we're not in touch regularly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're not.
And he's
not sober anymore,
right,
but
okay.
I am. Thank God. I don't know how that happened. It was literally 2007.
And then you were saying about like because you started like you doing comedy like open mics in 2009.
That was all in sobriety. I've never done comedy drunk.
No way.
Yeah. So like, you know, people are like, "Oh, do you have a drink to like take the edge off?" It's like, no, I drink water and I do some jumping jacks.
No, not before a gig though.
What?
Like, are you doing so? Not right before a show.
Right before a show, I do jumping jacks.
Shut up.
So that I can get my heart rate up. Just like
Seriously?
really for like 20 seconds, not a long time.
I mean, still.
It just feels good because then you get on stage and you're like, "Hey guys," you know, like you're like a little bit higher energy.
But you do that without people seeing.
No, not them seeing me.
Right. And you do jumping jacks.
100% every time.
Is that something?
That's my thing.
How? When did you start?
I think like 2-3 years ago.
What were you doing before that?
I don't think I was doing anything, but I started doing this and it just really works. I love it. I put it on my Instagram every time I'm about to perform. I'm like warming up. And now people like they come to shows and like they kind of want to see it. They're like, "Can we see you do your jumping jacks?"
No way. So you get like it gets addressed by the audience.
Well, not on stage, but like, you know, before if they're around. Yeah. I don't do it on stage.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. You need some privacy. I think
Eh.
I think every time I do like a push up, I need to do it in the comfort of my.
I don't even know how to do a push up.
I'm saying a push
Yeah.
up, but it's usually like a half a push up, but it's like anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go in the.
I'm giving you all my tips.
Thank you. Well,
Take notes. I'm kidding.
I've heard about like loads of not loads, but some comedians I spoke with the meditation. It's a big thing, you know, and I think it kind of makes sense because it's. I think with me doing the DPT, it helps out a lot by writing things and getting some order in my head. You know, which is a thing that I used to have this like what's your like thought vomit on people.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I need to write stuff down and I need to like be concised.
Yeah.
I feel like we're learning. I mean, at least I'm learning English.
Yeah. Well, you're doing very well.
Thank you.
If I had to speak in Romanian, I would not be well. I would not be able to be on your podcast. Just saying.
Well, you're being too kind. But then, what about your family? Are they in LA?
I have a lot of siblings in LA, and then my parents are divorced, and my mom lives in Cleveland. Have you heard of it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great city, and my dad lives in Florida.
Oh no! Oh wait, nice. And
Yeah.
you're like near each other now, or
Yeah, we do live near each other.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And what have they been to many of your shows or any shows at all?
No.
No way.
No, literally 0 shows.
Seriously.
I'm not joking. I know that sounds crazy,
No,
but
fair
it's
enough.
true. Yeah.
And do they know like your like style of comedy? Have they seen you perform?
I post a lot of it on Instagram, but my mom hasn't been to a show, so she doesn't know like the full extent, and my dad hasn't either. So it's kind of funny. They would probably be shocked, but it's, you know, it just hasn't happened yet.
And what was it like when you made the transition to like being a full-time comedian and like making like a full-time income from comedy?
Mm-hmm.
Did
what do you mean? What was it like? Like, did I have money?
No, like when you like basically like when you told them and you're like, hey, I'm a fool, or did you not do it?
I didn't tell them like that. Like we're not super close, but
Sad.
it was more just like I looked at my bills and I looked at, like, I was paying taxes and I was like, wait, most of the things that I'm paying taxes on is comedy. It was just, I was so proud of myself.
As you should be.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt so exciting. And then this year I opened up an LLC and Chani Lisbon comedy and a bank account, like for comedy. And I'm just like, okay, God, I'm here for this. You know, I started
That's so
selling
cool.
merch and
And yeah, I've seen. I was gonna say I've seen some of the T-shirts on your
yeah,
social
Hashem
media.
is legit.
Yeah. Would you tell people listening anything about it, or do they have to be at a show to understand?
Oh, no, no, no. It's
No.
just a saying I love saying. And it's Hashem is legit. Hashem is the Hebrew for God. And in the last year, so many things were just like falling into place in such a beautiful, easy, natural way that I was like saying it so much that my friends were like, can you shut up? And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on a
Make
shirt
merch.
and I'm going to make money. I mean, I don't really make money from it. It's more just like brand awareness and people love it. I mean, I don't not make money, but you know what I mean? It's not,
Yeah,
it's more like a fun thing that you can get at a show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like life changing.
Right, right. I didn't buy a house from the merch. But yeah, I sell hats and t-shirts and sweat sets. Like I only travel in sweat sets that say Hashem is legit now.
Do you have a like online store as
Yeah,
well? Or is it-
ChaniLisbon.com.
No way. Do you ship internationally?
I don't, but I really have to start because now that I came on this tour, I mean, I had somebody make them in London, so I just picked up a batch here.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But I want people to be able to buy it online. So I do have to speak to it's hard with shipping because it's like with customs and
well, that's the thing. You technically need someone in either mainland Europe or England to have the stock for you, basically, right?
Right. I think I'm gonna speak to the person who made the shirts for me and see if they can do that. But then how does that work? Whatever. We don't have to work.
Yeah. Well, we'll work that out before.
Yeah.
Not before.
I feel like
behind.
we're very close. We're close to it happening. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to say is just like let people know is like hearing myself say these things, like 4 years ago, I wanted to be this person and it seemed so far away. So what I want to just like remind people, if there's like something that you want to be doing, it's possible. It can happen. Just keep taking actions every day. Tiny little ones, they add up.
No, I mean, yes, of course, yes, way because you're here.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. You know, because like you were, yeah, again, like it's kind of. So you started comedy because you're like, okay, I'm doing open mics, or you know,
started doing open mics. I never considered that I could make a living from it, and my earning potential is very high.
That's amazing. And that's really cool because again, you've done some of the you've done I'd say the greatest city in the world for comedy wise, right?
New York.
And now so I think just to like I agree with you. I think to even obviously I don't make a living, but even when I get like covered expenses, I'm
feel
like,
good about it.
This is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it feels like to then just be able to, hey, like you wake up and this is your job.
Yeah. Well, you get to wake up later. You get to sleep in, which is very nice. You know what I mean? Like I work nights. It sounds wrong, but it's
no. I think it's amazing because you work in the right time of the night where you can just work and then you can still have like your REM.
Yeah.
Right
I don't
time.
drink. Like I'm not like out partying after. I'm just staring at my phone.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what's it like then? Like, what's your routine like?
So this is the bad part. Is post show is like I'm usually vibrating on like a really high vibration, so I can't really go right to sleep. So a lot of the times I'll make reels from the show that I just did to like just like have something to zone out on, and a lot of the times I'm just looking at my phone making content after the show.
Which is fair enough. Again, I think it makes sense because the adrenaline sometimes I don't know like what's your like diet routine because like sometimes if I eat before a show then fine I could technically go to bed early, but then if sometimes I don't have the time to eat before a show and I eat after the show, that adds up to the post like show adrenaline.
Yeah,
and then I end up at like, but again, especially at the moment it's a mess. But even
it's a mess.
Even before this, it didn't feel too bad. So yeah, I understand.
It's a lot of like learning from like what works and what doesn't work, you know? Like I try to go to bed early, but it's so hard. It's hard.
I feel like this is the thing. You have to redefine. I think as a comedian, you have to redefine as well what early means. Right?
Yeah.
If you notice that, because I remember
like if it's before 1, I'm like killing it. I'm killing it.
Which is a fair thing because I'm thinking from past experiences where people are like, oh, can you go to bed early? I'm like I get home at like 11:30 on a night when I'm like on early.
Yeah.
So how can I go to bed early unless I just sleep in the train and just wake up
Right.
wherever the
Right.
train takes me?
Yeah, it's different. It's like the expectations are different, but I think it's okay. I think people know that like we keep different hours, as comedians, and as long as I'm getting the sleep that I need, it's okay, which I am.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry
before
if I take a nap right now. I'm just kidding.
like, hey, sorry, how do I just let myself
Yeah,
out?
you'll let yourself out. You'll figure it out. Figure it out.
So was it like always your, I guess, were you, I mean, kind of, because you were obviously you were so, you already done comedy sober.
Yeah.
So then were you always having like a healthy-ish routine or like a
No.
lifestyle besides of, obviously starting meditating more
Yeah. I
recently?
mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't do anything mind altering. So no drugs, no weed, no heroin,
Fair.
no, crystal meth. None of that.
I love the fact that you have to go
I
like
had to clarify all of them.
precisely.
Yeah, no heroin, crystal meth, cocaine.
What's it like then to be in like in like the US like scene? Is it like wild or is it
In
that
the
they
drug scene?
no? Is in like the comedy scene? Like,
Oh,
is
in
it
the
a
comedy scene. I think I this is my experience is I had a couple of friends who were comedians, but I never really, in my perspective, fit in the
fair?
comedy scene. I think I don't know. I was in it for so many years, but I never felt a part of. I never did.
Fair.
And so I don't think it mattered that I was sober. I think I did keep a little bit of a distance. And it's interesting because a lot of the people that I did comedy with, like open mics with, are now like super big and famous. And I'm so happy for them. But I never considered us friends
Yeah.
because we never hung out. Like we did comedy together.
Yeah.
I booked them on my shows. They booked me on their shows, but we never crossed the line of like, oh, we're actually friends. It happened with one comedian or two comedians, but it's not like in the non-Jewish
Yeah.
scene. It just it wasn't like a natural progression that happened for me.
But also, on the back of that, I kind of feel the same way because I
Mm.
think about how it's because technically like I treat it as a job, right? So when you go to work, like whatever job you would do, you don't make friends with everybody, and like or like you don't just because you don't match everybody.
Right.
So I sometimes. I used to like beat myself over the fact that I'm like, hey, maybe I should like hang out more with like comics posture, but then like I would do it, and I just feel so like out of context, it just
Yeah.
feels like unnatural. While
Yeah.
just like you said, if you build up a relationship with someone that you're like, hey, it feels supernatural, they're like, hey, let's go and like, I don't know, have coffee or drink or whatever, or like let's do something together, and then it comes up again the same way you would do with a friend from high school.
Right. I know. I did have some friendships like that did cross that line, but they weren't like everlasting. Like
Yeah.
they lasted for like let's say 6 months to a year, but it wasn't like a large group.
Yeah.
It was like one here, one here. So I never really felt like I was. And I know that sounds so funny because I've been doing comedy for so long, but I don't feel like I was in the comedy scene, even though I was getting booked. I can't explain it.
No, I think
Yeah.
it's fair enough, and I if anything, it makes it very hopeful for people like myself
Mm.
because I'm like, no, I love that. I love if I could just stay at home and teleport myself to gigs just before I get on, I would.
Yeah. I do think that it does help to have relationships with other comedians because I do think that is how in the main way of like quote unquote becoming successful, like that is sort of how it happens is like your friends book you, you book your friends, right? I don't know if everyone is as lucky. I don't know if I'm lucky, but like I've created a space where I do 45 minutes and that's when I get booked, that's how long I do.
Yeah.
So I'm not relying on these other people to book me. I'm relying on random strangers, but God has been providing and making sure that I do get booked. So it's interesting. Like people that I get, well, a lot of the people that I did like come up with, they call it, like they're now touring, theaters around
Yeah.
the country and stuff like that. But also, like, I don't do comedy on Shabbat, on the Sabbath. So like
Very
in the
nice.
mainstream, like that's the biggest night.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work for me to do that anyways. Like when I'm traveling, like I don't travel on the Sabbath. I don't get in a I
Oh,
observe the Sabbath in that way. Like so it limits my time that I could work in the clubs because I wouldn't do that.
of course, but then does it mean like how do you observe it? Is it from Friday sundown?
Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
Sundown. So you could technically you do
I can do a show on Saturday
Saturday
night
night if it's local,
in the winter when the Sabbath ends really early. If
right?
it's local. And if they're booking me for Saturday night and it's not, they'll fly me in for the whole weekend. Yeah.
That's
So like, but you know, tomorrow night is Friday night and
yeah.
I'm doing a gig, but I'm going to do it without a microphone. I'm just speaking in front of a synagogue like for 45 minutes.
No way.
Yeah. You should come. It'll be
Have you
fun.
done that before?
Yeah.
What time? Because I'm.
I don't know what time. I'll
But
tell you.
anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll,
But like they're not going to pay me on the Sabbath. They'll pay me after.
of course.
And I'm going to walk there. I'm not going to take a car to get there. Yeah.
And how long? When did you start observing?
This is recent. This is in the last 6 months.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because I generally like I think I spoke with like my partner, and you know, once I get my like life together, I would actually like to keep the same like sundown. And also I feel like it's easier in England because the sundown, like even in the summer, you know,
Yeah.
we've not got much left, and it would be
Yeah.
sundown here. So
Yeah.
I feel like it
Yeah.
would be actually be easier for me. But I also I want to not only that was because that would sound as if it's harder otherwise. But
I mean,
it's
it is
something that
hard
I'd
in the
consider.
winter, right? The sun goes down so late. It's like a much longer.
Even in the summer, no,
No?
because yeah, I mean it's I don't know, maybe on Saturday again, like Saturday might be a bit difficult, but also I feel like in the summer here sometimes and again, as far as like my understanding goes, bear in mind I'm only doing like semi-pro and like amateur comedy scene,
Yeah.
but in the summer sometimes gigs actually get pushed later
Oh.
because you know people want to go out because you don't have the sun and everything, so people would go in the beer gardens and stuff. So then sometimes you get like 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 p.m. shows or 11 p.m. or yeah, I think before COVID, and apparently they might come back. There used to be midnight shows.
Yeah.
Because
They
again,
have
it's
it in
like
New York also.
yeah, well that's the thing because London is like such a big city, and you have people that would come out.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get people who again they want to because this thing in the summer here. Sometimes I actually take like my longest breaks because you know you go to a show and it's canceled because there are no tickets sold because it starts at 7. And would you be in a basement at 7 or would you be outside drinking?
Yeah. Outside drinking. You know me.
Yeah, so
I will be outside drinking. I'm kidding.
likewise.
But yeah. In a perfect world. No, I'm in a perfect world, and that's why I don't drink. But yeah.
That's so cool, you know, and yeah, it sounds amazing.
I mean, it's new, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't doing comedy for many years on the Sabbath, but it's new that I don't get in a car on the Sabbath. That's very new for
Wow.
me. For 20 years, I didn't observe, and I just started not doing that, like in the end of after Passover, 2023, 2024.
2024, yeah, because it was the beginning
So
of the
like
year.
7 months ago.
Yeah.
It's very new. But it feels really good. I don't feel like I'm missing out. It's actually like it's a quieter experience of the weekend. Like it takes a lot of the options out, and I like where am I going to be for the whole weekend? I'm not traveling, going, coming. It's really nice.
And I imagine no phone either.
Well, that's that's a personal question, and
Sorry.
no, it's fine. I didn't use my phone for a very long time in the last 6 months, but in the last couple of weeks, I have started. It's just really hard.
Well, yeah, again, I think you know what, you're on holiday. It's
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like especially if you're even like walking around.
Yeah, Google Maps is my friend.
There you go.
And but you know what? I'm doing the best that I can right now, and I'm not. I mean, do I have a little shame? Maybe because I like made such a big deal when I started keeping it on my Instagram that everyone was like, "We're so proud of you. We're so proud." And now I'm like, "Oh, let's not bring that up again," you know, because it's like I've been using my phone.
But I think that the shame it's something that's I've never lived without it. So
oh, nice. Yeah, you're saying I should just get comfortable. Yeah.
If it was me,
I can let it go.
Yeah,
it's not mine to hold, really.
Well, you see, this is a you're in a very good place, you know.
Thank you.
Spiritually and like you know mentally, while yeah, to me again, like I feel sometimes like you know it's like getting to the point where it feels comfortable to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to be honest. I'm not going to lie and be like, yeah, I don't use my phone. My friends who are listening would be like, oh, wow. So now she's a liar. Cute. Cute. She goes to England and just starts lying. I'm not going to do that. But it's a week by week basis. Some weekends I use my phone and some I use my phone.
But still, though, like
It is, it's a big change from what it was, 6 months ago when I was like getting in a car and didn't care and it wasn't a big deal. Now I'm like, no, I'm gonna walk.
And then when you were in England or like even mainland Europe, did you like rent a car? Did you?
No.
No.
I don't want to drive on the other side of the road. That's not something anybody should be doing.
No, but yeah, but it's only in England, though, right?
Yeah, I didn't rent a car.
Okay.
I didn't need one. Yeah.
I feel like I was just going like, hey, but technically this is the other side of
Okay.
the road. But then
Okay.
if you go, but
Okay.
fair
Sure.
enough. I get it.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Let's
also
go there.
because what, like I imagine you'd have like a car like with a really nice like big engine back home, and then in here you have to drive like an
Yeah,
scooter.
I was driving a really cute, really nice Jeep Wrangler. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a big car. It's a big car. I just gave it back, but I'm gonna get another cute one
nice in Florida.
Yeah, I didn't have a car in New York.
Yeah, which I again, as far as my understanding goes, based on movies and TV shows, it makes sense not driving.
Yeah,
New York.
I mean, I always had access to one, but I didn't have my own one. And in Florida, you can't survive with that one.
No way.
No, literally no. So if you're planning to move, just budget a car in there too.
Oh, I'd love to. Again, I can't wait for the first thing. I can't wait to be there and like.
When are you coming?
I would say, and I spoke. I think I would say summer next year.
This
like
coming summer,
realistically,
2026, 2025.
2025.
Okay, cool.
Yes, really. So it would be after April. But again, I still have to figure out like what's happening with like my, again, other commitments because now, yeah, like my day job is a bit weird. I'm in a tough place. And then, but yeah, once that gets covered, we are planning. Me and my partner we're actually planning to go, and she wants to visit the West Coast, so we were thinking about it. But then also, while we would be there, I would actually like to go. Like maybe she can stay in like say California because that's like what she wants to visit and where she wants to stay, and then I would actually just go on my own in like different cities and actually try and gig a few.
Oh wow!
Nights. But again, it's open for we're open for discussion now. We'll see how it goes. Because also I want for her to enjoy it as a holiday, but I also feel like I would love to use the opportunity.
Yeah, you should definitely. I mean, you didn't ask me, so I'm not going to say what you should definitely do.
No, please tell me.
Okay, great. Now that you asked, definitely come to New York.
I want to.
Yeah, because you can hit like 4 mics a night there.
Nice.
Or 3 to be fully realistic.
I would still.
And every night, every day. They have them during the day also. Like when I was unemployed, I was hitting them at like 12 p.m., then 2 p.m.
No way.
100%.
And would you still like have an audience or it was?
Well, you're performing in front of other comedians, but still, if you're really funny and they see you, they'll be like, oh, I'm producing a show next week. Would you do it?
No way.
You have to be very funny for that. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. If they get to know you and they're like, oh, this guy's funny, 100.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, do it.
I will. And again, that's New York. It's always it's New York. It's on the there is no question. I would love to do it. And I'm also a huge fan of like many things New York.
Yeah.
Like sports teams.
Fashion.
No. I don't. I wear joggers. Most of the time. Like I don't wear a suit.
That's not fashion. I meant like cool brands and stuff like that.
Yeah, brands. I wouldn't say cool, but again, by my standards, they are super cool.
Yeah.
But when I leave the house, my partner will be like, "Really?"
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah.
You're like, this is what I think looks good.
And then she'd be like, "Okay, fine. Yeah, I love you anyway." And I'm like, "Thank you. Right answer."
Never want to hear.
Yeah, and especially I'm like, "Yeah, I thought that's good. I feel like I'm doing well."
It.
But look, Chani, I wanted to ask you. Sorry, Chani.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very
anti-Semitic.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
No way. Oh,
Chani, because it's Chani.
Honey. Yeah. Anyway.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Chani.
Honey.
There you go. Nailed it.
Honey, what's your like social media handle?
Oh yeah.
What do is anything that you have got planned for the end of the year or beginning of the next one that you want to share with
Uh,
us? Or
so I don't have anything planned. I'm going to be coming back to Europe in the springtime. So I'll be here in May, and you can find me at Chani Lisbon.
I like
Sorry,
how.
I'll spell it. C as in chosen. Okay, just kidding. Chani, Chani, and then underscore Lisbon, like the city. Lis as in Sam. Bon as in Nancy. So Chani Lisbon, and definitely find me because I'm trying to get to 14K. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure was mine. Hey, I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I enjoyed recording it. And for anyone who's nearby on Sunday, we will do a gig together. We will do a show. Well, I'm only going to do a little bit, but Hani is basically she's headlining the show, and it's in London. For more details, you can check out my socials and her socials. And yeah, we'd love to see you there if you are listening on time. Also, if you are in UK or more specifically London, because I wouldn't, I don't know, I just wouldn't expect from you to travel from anywhere else in the world, just because I don't know, I just don't feel like it's fair, and also, um, I just don't want to put the pressure on anyone. But if you are in London, what are you waiting for? Anyways, I'm gonna go now. And same as usual, from me, Pickle and Sarma, until next week, stay skillful.